Durango, Colorado. A place that I heard a ton about as a kid growing up, but I don't hear a ton about it anymore, so silliness.
Too much speed makes your bike harder to control and is especially dangerous when riding down a steep hill.
Let's see what happens.
Might look like a log.
I broke a tension strand, man. Fruit smoothie?
Let's go to Durango.
My name is Brendan Schaefer. I moved to Durango as a teenager. The thing about Durango is that everyone rides here, you know. Even people who you don't see them as like a mountain biker now, they'll show up to a bar on like a Yeti Ultimate and be like, oh yeah, this was my bike. Any other town, you know, you just don't see that.
Morning. Bit of a trash stash there.
Ready to go to Colorado? When I first called Mike Wilk about coming out here and checking out the scene in Durango, Mike put me in touch with Ben Gavelda here to do our photos and show us around a little bit. Ben, tell us about Durango and your experiences here.
Yeah, growing up here, riding bikes was really awesome. It's all so accessible. There's trails just right from the doorstep, and that's something I guess you didn't realize until you leave. It's like, whoa, I left like a really awesome place. The riding is still here, the bike community is still here, the trails are still here, the history is here.
Made it.
Yeah, there's one called Solar Rock. That's got like jumpy stuff. That's not on here. It's over in here. Okay.
Everyone has some cool vintage bike here, which I think is probably unique.
92.
42 so going for a ride.
Oh, nice.
It goes.
Hey, I'm Jeff. Jeff. Nice to meet you.
Jeff and Logan.
Mind if we get a few shots of some of these sweet old bikes?
Yeah, please do.
Dude, I love that candy in front with a hydro. Pretty cool. Just listened to your podcast.
Oh, did you?
With Mike, yeah.
How was it?
It was rad. It was really good.
Nice.
Thanks for introducing Tomac mountain bikes.
And the rest is history, right?
Well, I've got to put two bikes together. Is it good if I borrow sand? I wanted to experience Durango through a bit of a historical lens, so I built up a mid-1995 Ibis Mojo tie hardtail with cantilever brakes. Let's see what it was like. I didn't know this bike would feel that good on things this size. Really quite fun. Dude, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Oh. Classic.
Yeah.
I'm one of the only people to be up on that rock on your bike.
Right on the edge of town here at the top of Hogsback Ridge. And I'm pretty stoked. This trail here is really well known because John Tomac shredded it in Retread the movie back in the early 90s. Let's see what it was like. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't have much brakes. Oh God. What's up? We're here at the base of, we're here at the top?
This is the base of Engineer Mountain. And we're riding old bikes in the mountains. We're at 11,500 feet. We've got a ribbon of amazing single track in front of us. This is Colorado right here.
I'm riding a pogo stick! One of the key reasons I wanted to come to Durango is this guy right here.
My name is Mike Wilk. I've lived in Durango for 20 years. I ride old bikes because I grew up drooling over these bikes in mountain bike action. And a lot of people just put them on the wall, and I say, you know what? That's silly. These bikes were made to be ridden hard.
Nice. Yeah! Yes! Oh, skinny! What's the scariest part of riding a bike of this vintage?
Cantilever brakes.
Tell us about this bike that you're riding.
91 Yeti Ultimate, made here in Durango, Colorado. Handmade by a skeleton crew of welders that really were just trying to figure out how to make bikes work back then.
That's just a piece of dental floss?
You know, original Yeti AccuTrack fork, which was basically like the big fork back then. It was all about how to make bikes go fast uphill and handle okay on the downhill, and this is the exact opposite. It was about how do we make a bike that can go fast and haul the mail, and you could pedal it uphill if you wanted to. So, I push it, man. These bikes were made to be pushed.
That was sweet.
You know, you don't need to have the look to have the spirit. That to me, that's like a mountain biker, you know, is you're just, I've always thought that that kind of attitude was like what it was all about.
Oh man. This trail was used in basically every NORBA race that came here, every Iron Horse race for like 10 years.
Why do you choose to ride a Fat Chance?
You know, when I was a kid, I grew up in New England, and Fat Chance is just sort of like the quintessential New England mountain bike. And my dad had a Yo Eddie, and the Yo Eddie was like the revolutionary bike. But I had a thing with Yo Eddie on. I think it was a t-shirt. And Yo Eddie is this guy right here. His chin is all busted, his teeth are all kind of messed up, he's got a mohawk. And I remember when I was a kid, I was like, that's it right there. That's like what I want to be, you know?
Yeah! Trail existed before mountain bike even existed.
Like a classic old Durango party spot. Ride motorcycles up here. You can come up like rally your car up here.
So Ben, you've been riding these trails for more or less your whole life. What's it like to shoot on these trails you've been riding for so long?
It's different, you know, it makes you just slow down, I guess. You know, when you're riding, you're just ripping by and not really taking in the scenery. You know, we have everything from like desert to crazy alpine riding. It's a big variety, you know, big geography difference.
What's different about riding a vintage bike on trails like this versus riding a modern bike?
You know, the thing is, people see you and they're like, how are you doing that? And it's like, dude, it's all the same thing.
My parents use those grips on their hybrids. Own it.
Dude, carpal tunnel is real.
Nicely done. Give her hell. Why are we doing this?
I think when you can remind yourself that you can have fun on any bike, you can still ride, you can still get rad, and you can still get gnarly on an old bike, and it's actually just as fun. But, I mean, the feeling's the same, you know, it's still the same feeling.
Oh! There we go.
Dude, this thing feels good. This is a fun bike.
5 a.m.
To get after it on the modern bike here in Durango, we gave local cycling coach Lucas Lemaire a call. How was the sunrise this morning?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Not all the time I get to get up early, and shredding early is always fun.
This trail seems pretty unique to me. Is this like a standard Durango trail?
Halfland's a great one. It's like an in-town high country ride. It's got all kinds of aspects of trail riding, like rocky, steep, super flowy, technical, nice and shuttleable, or if you're a beast, you just ride the whole thing.
Oh, is that a bunny hop line? Let's look at that real quick.
It's a big bunny hop.
Here we got that.
Damn.
I think so. I mean, what could happen, right?
I don't know if I can pull that one.
Oh, now I'm having second guesses. Well, oh, sketchy. So sketchy. Oh.
Good pedal click there. Alright, I want to try it.
All that stuff I kicked, ant's nest. Good, Reese boy.
Almost. Why are you riding downhill bike today?
Downhill bike's one of my favorite I have, so just rocking it. You good? Riding straight on. I'm one of the coaches for Fort Lewis College Cycling. It's a fun program. Downhill and dual slalom is my specialty. It was so fun. And alumni, graduated in 2013.
And you've been here ever since graduating?
Yep, totally. Wanted to bring back to the community and help coach.
Not maybe?
You can go higher for sure.
Turbo boosters engaged!
The pair is really working it. Loving it. It was awesome.
That's a hard hit. You can hop on there real quick, probably. See what happens. Got caught on the other side. Awesome.
Oh, another log ride.
Oh, that sucked.
You're coming so hot.
Damn it.
Skinnies.
Yes.
I know you're a downhiller, but do you have fun just messing around on the trail and jibbing around?
Yeah, one of my favorite aspects of riding is just having fun, and screwing around is the best.
That's it. Oh, dude. That was rad. So fun.
Whether you're on your like totally sick, you know, pimped out new bike, or you're on like an old piece of you're still mountain biking, and you still like, you get loose in a corner and you're like, oh, that's what it's about right there.